Alright, what's up everyone, and welcome back to my channel. I'm of course Hot Dogs, and we are here for another installment of The Sims 4 Survivor Oasis. And the big day of the season, besides the finale obviously, is finally upon us. So today we are going to have a tribal council. That person will be the last to join Oasis, and then at the end of the episode we will have our Oasis battle back, and one person will be re-entering the game, and I cannot wait. But for right now, it is day 19 here on the Green Sand Trap Tribe, and everyone is kind of nervously awaiting to see what's going to happen. Well, actually, I guess they're not technically nervous because they don't know about Oasis, and surprisingly, the green team is not going to tribal council. They actually won immunity in the last episode. Rich kind of pulled it off for everyone, and he won it for them, so they are actually safe this week. I'm not used to saying that, so I completely forgot that they're not nervous, finally. That being said, all four of them, Rich, Bella, Jenna, and our girl Eliza Pancakes, will be making it to merge, and that happens on Monday's episode, where everyone is going to fight individually, so congrats to them. Bella and Rich are kind of just hanging out. Meanwhile, Jenna and Eliza are getting some sleep, so we're going to actually leave the green team already, and we're going to go head over. We're going to see how day 19 is treating the red Nookstone tribe, especially since they are the tribe that is going to have to be going to tribal council here in a little bit. So as you can see, we have Tina and Nina talking to Fabio as he works out. They're all kind of speaking hush hush, kind of trying to figure out who they should vote for, what is each other's plan. 3 is the magic number in tonight's vote, so potentially this could be the 3 that controls it all. It could also be Vesepia, Tina, and Natalie, who knows? But I definitely think Tina and Nina are kind of safe going into tonight. I feel like they have a good relationship with almost everyone, but we're not completely sure, so we won't find out until we see everyone's relationship statuses. We saw that Vesepia is actually outside grilling and eating alone, which is something you don't want to do, as well as Natalie just standing in the kitchen by herself. Both of them definitely want to try to get in that group and start talking while they can. And also, 2 castaways on this tribe do have hidden immunity idols, so that does mean that they will be safe if they have a majority of the votes. Who those 2 people are, I'm not going to say, but we will see if they get votes cast against them, obviously. But it is someone from the old green tribe and someone from the old red tribe, if you want to keep that in mind. But with nothing too much really happening, I'm going to say let's go ahead and head over to the tribal council area and see who they decide to vote off. There's only so much nighttime I can spare for these guys, so we're just going to get straight into it. Can you guys believe this is our 8th tribal council? I can't really get over it. And again, this person who does get voted off will be the last person to join Oasis and will have a chance to battle back into the game. However, that one person that does come back and is into the game, obviously that happens, but everyone else, those other 7 members of Oasis, will be out of the game for good, and we won't see them again until the finale. Everyone else after tonight that gets voted off will be headed to jury, and we will see them randomly throughout the season as they will be voting for the winner. So as long as you make it through tonight, we will be seeing these people once again as they are in jury. There is only 3 weeks left of the season after today, which is also insane. I can't believe we're almost there. So in tonight's vote, I would definitely be trying to keep in mind, like, if I was one of the Sims, who was being good at getting all the hobbies and skill points, who was going to be real competition later on down the line and not just right now. But let's see who they end up voting for, and the first person we have voting is going to be Tina.
Buena con Felibo Daba. Arvini Zongso. Blahoyatha.
And Tina votes for Natalie to leave the island. Next up, we have Vesepia. Let's see if she votes the same or if she votes for someone else.
Oh, Vinaya. Ha!
Alright, so I'm not too surprised because, like I said before, I do think Vesepia and Tina are working together, so they both have voted for Natalie to leave the island. Let's see how Natalie feels about that and if she picks one of them to be voted off.
Ugh. Lambton. Oh.
Alright, so Natalie has fired back and has voted for Tina, which does make a fair bit of sense considering they were not originally on the same tribe. But let's go ahead and see how Nina votes considering she was on Tina's old tribe.
Oh, whoa, Gris. Uh-huh.
Alright, so this vote was kind of surprising, but kind of not. As we can see, Nina has voted for Vesepia to leave. Now, on one hand, I get it because they have not been on the same tribe until recently, but on the other, her and Natalie have been beefing and arguing over Fabio, and with 3 being the magic number, she definitely could have been that third vote to get Natalie out, but who knows, we still have 1 vote left, and that one belongs to Fabio.
Illinois. Maybe Ponka.
Alright, and Fabio has voted for Tina to leave, which is actually pretty surprising considering the amount of time they've been spending together recently. But now the votes lie with 2 votes Natalie, 2 votes for Tina, and 1 vote for Vesepia. So Nina's vote has really changed the course of what could have happened. So normally when there is a tie, everyone except for Natalie and Tina would vote again and try to break the tie. If they weren't able to break it, then Natalie and Tina would be immune and everyone would have to vote again for the other 3. But surprisingly, that is not the case for this vote. Even though it is a tie, like I said before, there are 2 people on this tribe that have hidden immunity idols, and luckily for Tina, she is in possession of one. So Tina does get up and walk over to Jeff and use her hidden immunity idol, making her safe from tonight's vote. But unfortunately, that does mean that Natalie is unsafe, therefore has the most amount of votes, and will be leaving us tonight. So Natalie is the 8th member to be voted off the island. It's time for her to grab her torch and put it out, but potentially not for long, as Natalie is the last person joining Oasis, and in just a little bit we will see how she interacts with all of her other Oasis members, how the last days of Oasis treat them all, and also who battles back. I can't wait. But this also means that we have officially made it to merge and jury. So everyone that is left, including Tina, Vesepia, Nina, Fabio, Richard, Jenna, Eliza, and Bella have all made it to jury, and that's a huge accomplishment, especially in Survivor, so congrats to them. But they still have one more person missing, so let's head over to Oasis and see how Natalie likes her new surroundings for the time being.
Nervy Finaya. Fra.
Alright, so we can see that everyone is kind of doing their own thing. Johnny is cleaning, Erwin was playing with the bugs, and it looks as though Brian is sadly freezing, so he's heading inside to get warm. Natalie has kind of just made her way to the middle of the campsite where she looks a bit annoyed and angry, maybe a little bit confused as to what's going on, angry about being voted out, feeling betrayed, and she kind of just yells and then takes that out by sword fighting. Takes all her aggression out on doing that. I don't know why they only sword fight here on Oasis. I don't know if it's like some kind of object is around that allows them to do that. I'm not too sure. Johnny is kind of like going around gathering clothes and cleaning, even though it is still winter, so it's getting pretty cold. Looks as though Cochran is hanging out by the fire, while Aliana is now serving up drinks to Erwin and Brant. No one is really paying that much attention to Natalie. If you could even see, she's in the background just dancing by the fire by herself. Nervous is the first person to come over and hang out with Natalie, and they dance by the fire together, but she abruptly ends. She just turns around and walks away, and she actually is running inside one of the bedrooms, and I guess she's sleepy and she's gonna go take a nap. So she hasn't really interacted with anyone. As soon as anyone tries to interact with her, she just runs away and goes to sleep. So, I mean, kind of a mood. I kind of understand. Instead, all the boys gather around together, all nervous. Brian and Cochran, and Brian's kind of yelling at Cochran for some reason, and I don't really know what the three of them would be talking about. All the relationships here on Oasis are very strange because this is going to be the last time they really see each other. Just getting distracted by that fart. But this is the last time they're all going to see each other. Whoever does come back into the game is making it to jury, but everyone else we won't see until finale night. So it's like all these bonds that they formed, even the opposite, all of these enemies that they have made here on Oasis don't really mean anything. They're not going to cultivate into anything more. So it's weird to think about that, and like that these relationships aren't really going anywhere, and that's like Brian can sit here and argue at Cochran all day long, but for what? What are you doing it for? As you see, Nervous has stepped away to dig through the trash. She seems to be pretty hungry. All of them are kind of looking a bit over, and I bet the anticipation of the upcoming Battle Back competition is really getting to them. Erwin seems to be taking that out on the dance floor in front of the fire. That's kind of everyone's go-to thing when they're over there. It's like, well, I'm keeping warm and also getting down. And of course, the best way to keep the fire going is by throwing trash in it. I can't imagine that would smell nice. Like, sure, it's like a way to get rid of trash, but I don't know, it seems to turn Brian on. And again, the sword fighting, I don't know, I do kind of like the sword fighting. It's really strange, and I am kind of guessing it comes from Get Famous or something, but I never placed a sword anywhere on the lot, and they don't do it in my other campsites. I don't know what that's about. I'm not too sure. It seems that Erwin has been replaced with Cochran at the bar, and Aliana's still hanging out talking to Brant. Also, Cochran and Erwin really haven't, their romantic relationship never really developed. I felt like it was kind of a thing when they were alone on the campsite. But once people started coming in, they really slowly, more and more, stopped becoming a thing. So I kind of don't think they are anymore. Also, shout out to my man Chris Pleasant, who commented on the video where Cochran and Erwin got together, and he said he wouldn't be watching my video anymore because of that. See you later, bud. And then we also see that Erwin is now like sword fighting with Brian. At least it almost looked like it. Like he seems to be upset that Brian is sword fighting with him. Like I'm like, is this an interaction you can do with more than one person? Can they just sword fight each other? Do I need the X's on the ground for that? Because I don't even have that on the ground. Someone fill me in. I'm sure someone knows. Write in the comments below what's going on there, because I don't know. And then as you can also see, all those plants magically turned into fruitful trees and everything. Everything kind of upgraded, so their plants are now good. I'm thinking I'll probably end up transporting them over to the merge campsite. So it's like, thanks for doing all this work here on Oasis. It was never bountiful while you were here, but I might let the other survivors enjoy the fruit. I'm not sure. Natalie's kind of running around just doing everything by herself. She's just now, I thought, going to talk to everyone, but instead she seems to be like fire dancing in front of the group, showing off her skills. But she's really just hopping around like spot to spot, napping, working out, dancing by herself, all that kind of stuff. So I don't know, it would be kind of weird to come and be like, I only have a couple hours here, and then potentially I'm back in the game. Or I might actually be fully out, like who really knows. And then of course we have Aliana doing her chicken dance. She's really being like the party host in today's episode. She's bartending, now she's dancing and entertaining everyone after slipping. No, I have not installed the slip mod. I'm going to keep him in every video just as a proof of how bad The Sims 4 is. But things actually start to get pretty wild here. I don't know if it's because it's the last day, this is like a celebration, or if Oasis is just getting to their minds mentally. I'm not exactly sure. But I mean, they're doing chicken dances, they're sword fighting, they're playing air guitar, they're dancing, they're fire dancing, like fire juggling, whatever. Like, it is insane. Working out, like they are going crazy. Like all of them are just like doing the most. I've never seen Sims act this way. I feel like I am looking at a mental institution in the middle of the desert. Like, all of them have just gone completely nuts, especially with like Natalie's arrival. I feel like it's just, now that it's a full house, it's just driven everyone completely crazy, and the thought of entering the game is just too much. I almost think it might be a safety hazard to put one of these crazies into the campsite. I mean, of course I'm going to do it, but I'm gonna the thought of bringing one of them and just putting them into the merge tribe. Hopefully they don't spread this crazy over there, or maybe they do. I don't know. I don't know if I would like a season of them acting like this the whole time or not. Eventually it does slow down as the night begins to settle in. We see that Aliana is taking a nap, everyone else is kind of peeing and kind of walking away, and I was like, you know what, before this gets too crazy, let's just go ahead. We're actually going to head over to the challenge area, and we are going to have this Oasis battle back. This is the part of the season we have all been waiting for. I mean, it is Survivor Oasis for a reason, and that now finally comes to an end as everyone is being gathered in the challenge area. So not only do we have the 8 Oasis members, Cochran, Erwin, Johnny, Natalie, Brant, Nervous, Aliana, and Brian, but we are also going to be bringing in everyone else as well here in just a bit. We're going to reveal to them, you know, what exactly has been going on. I just also love the fact that Jeff is just playing with a hidden immunity idol in front of all of them. No, whoever comes back will not be receiving a hidden immunity idol. They could potentially come back and leave straight away. So whoever does come back, it's pretty crucial that they win immunity or something for sure. But we are going to have multiple rounds in this competition. All of them are going to be competing at once and trying to do it the longest or the best. Obviously, it kind of follows the rules that we've previously had in all the competitions. This one is the workout bench. So all of them are just going to have to sit here in the circle and continuously work out their bods until they all eventually give up. And the first few that leave will be eliminated. Everyone else is really sweating it out, but it seems as though Brian is having a good time. He's sitting here joking, taking breaks to laugh with Aliana and everyone else around him. So, I mean, I'm glad that he's in a positive spirit about this. But we'll see if it brings him any luck or if any of these other determined people will make it a bit further. Some of them definitely seem to be getting a bit worn out, especially with this desert sun shining on them. No shade. It sounds like I was no shade, but with this desert sun coming down on them, they are looking pretty exhausted. And we see that Johnny is out alongside Aliana. Brian, Brant, and Cochran step up, and then there's Nervous, and Natalie is the last to stand, surprisingly. With that, the people that are out of the competition, the ones that are too tired to continue on or they were out first, are Aliana and Nervous. So the two of them will no longer be competing in the competition and they are out. Everyone else is going to get back on and continue in round 2. So the reason that Nervous and Aliana were out is they were too tired to do a round 2. They just weren't able to do it, or they weren't able to do the endurance version of it, where everyone else was able to. I'm actually pretty surprised, especially when it comes to Aliana. I mean, she's super buff. She works out all the time. So I'm surprised, especially with her. Nervous, not too much. Maybe he was too nervous. The pressure got to him of coming back into the game. But Aliana, I am surprised to see her go. And the two of them will not be coming back to Oasis. And we won't see them again after this until finale. So it's pretty sad. Let me know what you guys think about all of this, obviously, down below. Were you rooting for Nervous or Aliana? Me, I liked that Aliana was the only one in Oasis for so long. But I kind of wanted her to stay there, honestly. But Nervous, I kind of am sad to see him go. And then we see that Bella has actually arrived somehow on the campsite. Not too sure how she has gotten here, but she has decided to come and chat with Johnny and distract him. I love the Sims they just randomly decide to pick. I personally don't usually mind it when it was someone from Oasis or something like that, but the fact that it was someone from the tribe was a bit bothersome to me. However, as we know, whoever does leave this competition will not be coming back and they will not be voting in the jury. So I was like, if their relationship goes up from this, it doesn't really matter, I guess. But we'll have to see if this affects Johnny's performance in this competition. Seems as though Brian's like happy-go-lucky joking attitude from earlier has gone away and he seems to really be getting tired. Along with a few others like Erwin and Cochran, this whole extra round seems to be doing a number on them, except for Natalie. I mean, look how hard she is pumping over there. Like, this talk with Bella has definitely made Johnny come to a complete stop, but it really amped Natalie up and she is just powering through right now, especially Brant as well. The two of them being on the end, looking into the horizon, maybe that's helping them a bit more to focus, but they are killing it. But maybe it was too much. Maybe killing it wore Natalie out, but she has given up, which is upsetting, but that does mean she is out of the competition, right? I was like, she's killing it, she's getting it, she's pumping it, go, and then she's out. So, I mean, this competition, it really shows that it's anyone's game. After Natalie leaves, Cochran and Brian end up getting up. Cochran was first before Brian, so sadly that does mean that Cochran is also out of the competition. So, Nervous, Natalie, Aliana, and Cochran will be going home and leaving. Then we have Erwin and Johnny stepping up, and Brant is actually the only one left competing. This does not give him an extra advantage. If anything, it's going to wear him out even more. But I thought, screw it, let's see how far he can go. If he wants to keep going, he can keep going, I guess. All right, so as soon as Brant started to smell, he decided to give up, and he's giving himself a bit of self-love, doing a bit of a face mask, trying to make himself feel a little bit better. But we are now down to 4 guys. We have Irwin, Brant, Johnny, and Brian. And the 4 of them now have to carve a wooden sculpture, and whoever does the best will move on. As we see, Brant doesn't want to carve a sculpture. He's too busy thinking about how he made himself super smelly. He's trying to groom his hair. He's doing a face mask. He just steps away from the board completely. If he does this again, he will be out of the competition. I let it pass this time, but it will not pass again. Everyone else is getting hard at work, and I am glad that a guy will be re-entering the competition. As we know, only 2 girls have left the competition so far, so it is a little nice, honestly, that we have a guy entering again, because all of them just got clean swept out of the competition. There's no guys in the competition anymore. Hardly any of them are left. So it's good that one of them's coming back. As we see, Brant has stopped carving his sculpture once again to clean himself. Therefore, he is out of the competition. He cared too much about being clean. Now he can go home and be as clean as he wants to be. And Bella has gone back there with Jeff, and the 2 of them are talking, getting along. I definitely feel like Jeff would hook up with Bella. Like, the whole Bella and Rich thing, I don't understand, but Bella and Jeff make so much sense to me. We see that Brian and Johnny have finished their sculptures, but it's not about who finishes first. It's about who does the best. So maybe Irwin has taken his time to make sure he perfects his. All of them are getting cold, even though the sun is still out. Maybe Irwin should have put on a shirt. But I think winter should be ending fairly soon, especially now that Winterfest is out of the way.
Oh, Dage. Oh. Ew.
That was beefy.
Alright, so either they had a low skill point or it was just because they were all uncomfortable, but all of their sculptures ended up being rubble. They were all poor, they were all like $10, and they were all just scraps. They weren't sculptures at all. So they are going to all have to try again. However, Johnny was too uncomfortable to try again. Therefore, he is out of the competition, and we are now down to the final 2. So either Brian or Irwin will be coming back into the competition to compete once again. If it does come down to a tie again, they will have to compete. If one of them is too uncomfortable, then the other person will win. If they are both uncomfortable, we will move on to a different event that they will be able to compete in. What do you guys think about Irwin and Brian being the final 2? Let me know down in the comments below. And as you can see, Bella is actually in the background making a little sand sculpture. She's having her own little competition back there, and she looks really cute. None of them ever really build sand sculptures, so it's nice to see them finally doing that. It's cute. They always do it in the challenge area. Everyone else is watching nervously from above, except for Brant, who is still way too focused on being clean. However, he's totally heading home in just a couple hours now, where he's going to be able to reunite with his husband, tell him he cheated on him, and shower before he probably gets kicked out of his house. We see that Cochrane looks actually pretty upset. He's probably sad that he's not able to come back. And it's also crazy to think about that Cochrane and Irwin were like the first ones to leave. Irwin was the first person voted out of here, so the idea of him being able to be the one to come back into the competition is pretty wild and crazy to me. We see that Bella is standing in her finished sandcastle. As soon as she finishes it, she just stands right in it and continues flirting and talking to Jeff. I want the 2 of them to hook up so badly. I don't know why, but I just kind of need it. Alright, and Irwin is the first one to finish. Now it is down to Brian. And honestly, I think if it does come down to a tie, I might just base it off of who finished first. But unfortunately, Irwin is doing some self-love over there, which might prevent us from doing anything in the future. So Let's go ahead and look and see what they got. All right, Erwin got some rubble. And Brian actually has managed to make a horse sculpture. Also, I don't know if you peeped back there, but Erwin did start freezing to death as well. So all of that combined, Brian has won the Oasis Battle Back competition and will be coming back into the game. What do you guys think about that? I know in real life production would be so mad because I keep hearing that production hates Brian. So if this was real life, this probably wouldn't happen. But Brian will be coming back to compete in the game once again and is back in the running for William. Oh God, since I started using the microphone at the end of this episode, I have not been able to talk. Sorry if I had major mush mouth. He is back in the running to win a million simoleons. But with that is the end of another week, another episode, and I'm so sorry for the delay. I do gotta say, I am still going to be posting 3 episodes a week. And we only have 10 episodes left of the season, which is pretty crazy. We are getting really close to the end. However, I am having to work 11 nights straight at my job. So getting the energy to post will be rough. So I'm not going to say it'll be Monday, Wednesday, Friday, but it will be 3 episodes a week. I can guarantee that. But as we know, I've been a bit late recently, so I don't want to keep saying that and then being late. But it will be 3 episodes a week. We only have 10 left, and on our next episode, it will be the merge. Everyone will be reunited in a brand new camp with a brand new color, a brand new name, and all of them will be competing in a new luxury competition for their brand new tribe. So you don't want to miss out on that. And of course, Brian will be reuniting with his fellow castaways. So you got to see all of that. You got to see this big merge, everyone meeting each other fully for the first time. And I will see you guys in the next episode. Bye.